rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.
The first Super League basketball season will come to an end this afternoon for either the Sheffield Sharks or Cheshire Phoenix. But for the quarter-final winners, the O2 in London is a tantalising 2 weeks away. The Phoenix take a 10-point advantage into the return fixture, but they will know the Sharks have beaten them by that margin and more on 3 occasions this season. So, Coach Ben Thomas will be taking nothing at all for granted. His team had many threats to pose problems to a Team of Lions outfit. Skylar White, TJ Atwood, Nick Timberlake and Tyreek Scott-Grayson were all double-figure scorers on Friday across the Pennines when the Phoenix won by 89 points to 79. Welcome from me, Bob Ballard, to the Cannon Medical Arena for potentially the final time this season as the Sharks have a big mountain to climb. But 9 times this campaign, they won by 11 points or more, so they'll be hoping the bench players can step up like they did against London 7 days ago. Alongside me is a man who has seen many twists and turns when it comes to the playoffs, former Sharks captain Mike Tuck. The Sheffield strategy today, Mike, as we get plunged into darkness, is what?
I mean, well, if there's ever a game that a team needs to show up, it's today. And Sheffield back at home, here in the tank. They got to defeat that 10-point deficit, whereas, Cheshire, they've got to make sure they don't get complacent and keep riding that wave.
That's how the regular season finished then. So 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7. That's why 3 is playing 6 here with Sheffield Sharks. Nominally, I suppose, the top team against Cheshire Phoenix, but didn't quite work out that way on Friday night across the Pennines. So all of the first 4 legs have been played. One on Friday night, the one we're talking about, Cheshire Phoenix beating the Sharks by 89 to 79. 5-point lead for the London Lions taking it to their game against Surrey on Monday. Bristol have got a big job to do against Leicester in their return fixture on Monday. And Newcastle-Manchester, that's very tightly poised, 78-71. As we know, today Sharks play the Phoenix and all the other 3 ties we played on Monday afternoon. And this is how the playoffs work.
The most prestigious event in the British basketball diary and the culmination of the Super League basketball season. It's time for the playoffs. The top 8 teams from the regular season take part in a seeded knockout competition to determine who are the best ballers in the country. Franchises are seeded according to their final positions in the championship table. They must battle through 2-legged quarter-final and semi-final ties if they have any hope of booking a place at the grand finale in London at the O2 Arena on May the 18th. Let the games begin.
Well, it could be a bit more complicated than that. We'll let you know more later. But there's Ben, who's going to be in charge of Cheshire tonight. Ben Thomas had a great night with his team on Friday night. Not so good, not quite so good anyway, for his opposite number on the Sheffield Sharks bench, the Team of Lions. They had a nightmare journey across the motorway to Cheshire on Friday night. And let's look at some of the highlights, Mike, of that match. We mentioned that, I don't know, you mentioned in the interview we're going to hear shortly, there was problems on the motorway going, because it certainly did badly affect the Sheffield Sharks preparation.
It definitely did. It took them 5 hours to get there, usually a 2-hour drive, but the Sharks came out, solid start at the beginning, a lot of that adrenaline rush, but then dipped at the beginning of that first quarter, and the Cheshire Phoenix just really took control. 32 points in that first quarter, raining threes from all over the map. They had 5 players hit double figures in this one, and they kind of rode the wave for the rest of the game, building up that huge lead in that first quarter. Sharks managing to make efforts to come back. 3 players on the Sharks team hitting double figures. Obviously, Prentice Nixon, 22 big points for him, and Donovan Clay with 21 points. But Phoenix were just able to maintain throughout. And obviously a huge night from TJ Atwood, 28 big points. from the four-man.
Big night for Ben, big night for Cheshire, who will hope to make it through to the semi-finals with that 10-point advantage. Let's hear from both of the coaches. We'll hear from Atiba Lyons in just a moment. But first, here is the man on your screen, Ben Thomas, talking with Mike Tuck.
Coach, a healthy 10-point cushion. How do you balance protecting that lead with staying aggressive?
We just got to play as it's 0-0. We've come here to win today. We haven't come here to lose by now.
Sharks have had some success at home against you guys this season. What adjustments are you going to make to try and avoid that tonight?
Yeah, I mean, earlier on in the season, tough place to come and play. But I think Sheffield over the recent months have struggled to sort of have any consistency, similar to us. We know what they're about. We know how they try and attack and stuff like that. And it's just about sticking to the game plan.
TJ Atwood, huge impact on Friday night, 28 points for him. How crucial is his versatility in a game like this?
Yeah, massive, especially without David Ulf. Him, Skylar, even Bobby and Cam are having to play extended minutes to those forward spots. But with TJ, like you say, his versatility just causes problems for bigger guys. And the way Sheffield defenders, sometimes he ends up with a 5 on him, and he's just able to attack off the dribble. So really impressive game on Friday, and we've got to hope for more of the same tonight.
And finally, a new addition to the Phoenix family. Skylar White had his baby daughter born over the weekend, but he'll be here tonight, and he really showed up big on Friday. You expecting more from him today?
Yeah, him and his wife Alex actually went into labour on Friday, so he left the hospital to come and play in the game, and obviously the baby was born yesterday, all healthy and well. So another huge congratulations from everyone at the Phoenix to Skylar, Alex, and obviously the new baby girl as well. But yeah, it's just part of the family, and we'll look forward to seeing her at games soon.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Cheers, Mike.
Coach, down 10 points. What's the mindset coming into this one?
Just got to play our game, try to win, see what happens in the fourth quarter where we are. But we got to make sure we do a better job starting the game. We started the game strong, but we didn't sustain it. We got to be a little more consistent throughout the whole first half.
Now, looking at the history of the season, you've beaten Cheshire by 11-plus points 3 times already. What's the biggest adjustment you want to make coming from Friday night into getting a good margin tonight?
I think we need to do a better job of trying to keep them off the offensive glass, had a lot of second chance points, and overall just, we didn't click necessarily offensively like we'd like to do, and probably score some more points.
And you kind of touched on it there, but winning the rebound war is going to be incredibly important, but also maybe controlling the tempo as well?
Yeah, I thought, early in the game we probably shot a lot of quick shots, early transition shots that are in their favor, how they just like to play, and we don't necessarily need to do that. We can, but don't need to, and we got to take some better shots to limit their transition.
Prentice Nixon, obviously a huge factor on Friday night. What are you expecting from him, but also what are you expecting from the rest of the guys tonight?
I think we all got to do, what we do. It's nothing, no special kind of game plan. We only hit 5 threes. I like to see us shoot the ball a little bit more, spread the wealth a little bit, and spread the floor.
And finally, back here in the tank, Cannon Medical Arena, some great crowds here throughout the season. How will that factor into tonight?
We love playing at home. We love our crowds. They're great supporters. It's a loud, electric place to play in, so it's always fun to play here.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Cheers.
Let's look at our 2 big ones to watch, starting with the Sheffield Sharks, man you just talking about, Prentice Nixon.
Well, they call him Playoff P for a reason. Prentice Nixon, now in his 2nd year with the Sharks, has embraced all the big moments. He's averaging 15.8 points per game, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, just, going deep into that stat sheet, but also he's a leader. And Atwood here, TJ Atwood, obviously huge night from him on Friday, 28 points. Averaging only about a modest 8 points per game, but he's playing over 25 minutes a game, so he's reliable. They trust him out there, and he's just got that blend of agility, strength, smart positioning on the court, can stretch the floor, but he can also attack inside in the paint. Some big threes from him on Friday.
Here are the starting 5, starting with the Cheshire Phoenix.
And we see same starting 5 they went with on Friday night, sticking with the game plan, what works for them.
And a change for Sheffield tonight.
Yeah, Jordan Rottino injected into that starting lineup. Just a little bit of a different look for the Sharks, but the usual suspects all around in the other spots.
Jamel Anderson's done it to me again. He's just punched my fist, and I think I've now got 2 knuckles left. Well done, Jamel. Thank you very much indeed. I think we're good to go for the second quarterfinal encounter between the Sheffield Sharks and the Cheshire Phoenix in the Super League basketball playoffs. Remember, the Phoenix have a 10-point advantage to take into this second leg. So 10 points or fewer if they were to lose. They go through 11 points or more. It's the Sharks, who still, of course, have the possibility of overtime as well if it's 10 points between the two. Straight away, Atwood, we saw what he could do on Friday, involved in the action straight away, trying to find the man on baseline. They're running out of time on this shot clock. They're not going to get a shot away here. They're running out of time, and that's a real waste from their first offense of the night.
Yeah, tough offense, but great defense from the Sharks. Obviously, they're scouted up on Skylar White. They know his MO is to try and get something off from behind the three-point line. So put him in a really tough spot there. Good defense from Clay.
Probably guessed by now, Sharks are in all blue. The white, we think it's orange. We're not quite sure exactly how to describe the shirt colour, but they're very distinctive, so shouldn't have any problem with identification here. Prentice Nixon, is he going to drive for 2? He is going to drive for 2, and he gets the 2. First score of the game.
Playoff P is in the building. We know he can step up in these big moments. Great shot from him.
Atwood will wait for the ball to come back around to him and try and open up a bit of space on the floor. Give and go for Holden, maybe. No, in the 2 is going to not drop for Larry Austin Jr., but they managed to recycle it, and that's going to just be a bit too strong from Nick Timberlake. The big 5 for the Phoenix, not firing yet. That's a foul straight away by Cam Holden on Ricky McGill.
Sharks doing a good job of getting that second rebound there, but like head coach Steve Lyons talked about before the game, they've got to control the boards. They can't let the Cheshire Phoenix get any second chances.
McGill going to go all the way for 2 and gets it. Nixon, now McGill for 2.
Love to see it from Ricky McGill. A good, strong, aggressive take straight to the basket. He's got to put up some points tonight.
4-0 run for the Sharks early on, exactly what they needed. Atwood, keeping him quiet in the moment. Couldn't keep him quiet on Friday night, though. They're going to try and keep quite a few names quiet on this one, including Cam Holden. Not going to drop in. Austin gets the rebound, though. Austin will force his way, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And that's great effort there from Larry Austin Jr. It's business as usual. You know what he can do. He's so aggressive, especially on the offensive boards, and did a great job there creating for himself. But here we see first play of the game for the Sharks. Prentice Nixon, no room to breathe, and still managed to get that off. Ricky McGill, good strong take down the middle. So a solid 4-point swing for the Sharks to start.
Larry Austin Jr. opens the Cheshire Phoenix account. There's the 2 from the free throw line. They were pretty good from that area on Friday night. And he can trim that lead to 2. Remember, 10 points is the disadvantage the Sharks bring into this. The second one does not drop. And that will be end-line possession for the Cheshire Phoenix.
And again, Cheshire Phoenix staying physical, attacking every single offensive glass that they can.
Austin Jr. need to get in quickly. Timberlake will shoot for nothing. And Clay will get the rebound and will drive. And we know when he goes like he's driving. Rottino, Clay, Nixon. We'll have to go a long way around. Clay is going to get to the hoop for 2 more.
Wow. A nice little hop, jump step, and an easy finish inside, making it look easy.
Yeah, all the 2-pointers going in so far from the Sheffield Sharks, and there's 2 more at the other end. First from open play for TJ Atwood.
Well, TJ Atwood picking up where he left off on Friday.
Well, Nixon fell over in the act of shooting. He nearly found its way in for 3, but didn't quite. Larry Austin Jr. backs in, finds some room. Great rejection Great rejection that was from James Reese, the fifth. Or was it? Yeah, it was
Ricky McGill.
Sorry, it was Ricky McGill.
Great
Ricky
defense
McGill.
from Ricky McGill, creating offense down the other end.
Nixon. Hill working inside, working all the way, and falling away for two.
Playoff P has come to play. He's making his mark early on in this one. Great take from him.
8-3. 5 points they got back for the time being, but they went with two more. That's Nick Timberlake on the scoreboard now.
That's an incredible pass there to Timberlake, and nice finish in traffic. We'll see what happens here. Looks like, yep, they're calling the foul. That'll be on Skylar White, his first foul of the game. Tried to get his hands straight up on defense there. Quick replay here.
Here's McGill's block.
Beautiful, beautiful block from Ricky McGill. Just great timing on that one right there. Smart heads-up play, and then down the other end, getting tangled up. Cheshire can be that physical team. They play to their strengths.
Jamel for no points. Not for the first one. Goes to Megan. They're going to need to make sure they drop most of these tonight. They can't throw anything away with a 10-point differential to make up from Friday night. Second one is fine. He's away, and the Sharks now up by 4. With points of Nixon, McGill, Anderson and Clay so far. Just outward, Austin Jr. and Timberlake on the scoreboard for the Cheshire Phoenix. Austin Jr., can they stop him? Well, trying to is Ricky McGill, and that's an offensive foul.
You love to see it. This matchup is absolutely incredible. A year ago, these two guys were teammates up in Newcastle, and now fighting against each other in the first round of the playoffs. So Ricky McGill obviously will know what Larry Austin Jr.'s tendencies are. They played against each other forever. Last year in practice, every day battling. Great offensive take from him.
26 and 4 points already in the game so far through that wonderful opener from him. Clay will take on Larry Austin Jr. That's a complete mismatch. Complete mismatch.
A great recognition from the Sharks, throwing it inside, finding the mismatch, and a big, strong finish from Clay.
Timberlake, dangerous in all territories like that one, but that's not going to find its way in. But the ball finds its way back to Jordan Rattino. Very quick offense from Sharks, and 3 from Ricky McGill.
High octane, high tempo, exciting offense here from the Sharks. That's exactly what they need to start this one if they want to cut into that 10-point deficit.
Timeout called by Ben Thomas for the Cheshire Phoenix. Donovan Clay is, well, this is his matchup, or lack of matchup with Larry Austin Jr.
Yeah, like I said, great recognition from the Sharks here. They see the mismatch, chuck it right down into him. Easy play, just using his size and athleticism to finish. And then down the other end, Donovan Clay again getting involved in a little bit of distribution. Ricky McGill with a huge 3 to absolutely light this crowd on fire.
Sharks up by 9, down by 1 if you like on aggregate right now. Look at that score, 93-94. Cheshire's lead is almost evaporated in the first 4.5 minutes.
It definitely is, but it's a long game to go. Sharks are going to have to try and give themselves a lot of insurance throughout the first quarter, but also you got to play it all the way to the end. We're in for a thriller here, Bob.
I think so, and Sharks have come out with a lot of determination and a lot of impetus. And at the moment, the big names not quite firing, but it's very, very early days yet for Cheshire. Skylar White, to me, is not surprising. He looks pretty tired today with that baby arrival on Friday. He played on Friday night, wouldn't have got much sleep, I'm sure, over the weekend, but here he is back in the action. He's not actually on the court right now. They give him a bit of a rest, as we see Hyperrock in for the first time with Cam Holden, Atwood. They're running this clock right down to 5. Here comes the shot, and it finds its way in from TJ Atwood. He's pretty much on fire this weekend.
TJ Atwood, unbelievable. game from him on Friday night. Like I said, picking up where he left off. He's so hard to guard. He's a matchup nightmare, so tricky at every position.
Ricky McGill. Now Sharks are eating this clock down to 6. They need something quick, and it needs to come right now. In and out. Atwood is there for the rebound. They are very good on the rebounds of Phoenix. They have 3 of the top 5 in the country. Holden going to the baseline, tracked all the way by Rotino, back out. Atwood thought about it for a moment. Holden will take his man as tight to the basket as he can. They're looking for an option. There isn't one right now, but maybe Scott Grayson can. And Scott Grayson does.
Oh my Lord! Scott Grayson almost falling out of bounds, off balance, 15-footer, incredible shot.
It's playing out. Rotino, quick ball rotation here from the Sharks now. Dixon thought about it. There is a foul under the hoop. It's going to be on Cam Holden, I think. It is. And that will be Jacob Groves coming in, just waiting for the it's going to be baseline possession for the Sharks.
Yeah, Planutis in for Holden. We see here Prentice Nixon taking the long three-point shot, and then Jamel Anderson on the rebound was just held a little bit too long on that one.
Now McGill for 2 more, and he goes to 7.
This guy just makes it look too easy. Nice little kiss off the glass for Ricky McGill.
16-9, 3-point advantage still overall for the Cheshire Phoenix. Michael Rock. Oh, it's good work. Oh, what was he trying to do there? Timberlake kind of went for the basket before he was actually in position to do the basket. It's going to go to the line for 2 anyway, but he actually took the shot before he was actually above the rim.
Yeah, it looked like Timberlake was heading up. He was looking to get the contact, but Clay tried to move out of the way, pulled the chair from him. Get a quick look here. Great drive down the middle here. Clay trying to move out of the way just a little bit late. Takes out on the body. So Clay will go, Timberlake will go to the line here.
Phoenix, by the way, on 4 fouls. So next foul committed by Cheshire will send the Sharks to the line, but Timberlake has got his own free throws to come. We'll have a chat with the officials about the clock.
Timberlake, one of the Cheshire Phoenix players that hit double figures on Friday night. A mid-season signing, but he's kind of proved his weight in gold. We've seen what he's able to do throughout the season. He's a guy who can definitely, he's got that catch and shoot in him, but he's also a good little slasher getting to the basket. And then we've seen him finish above the rim quite a few times too. So lots of different aspects to his game.
Nick Timberlake will go to the line for 2. Timberlake pretty accurate. 80 made out of 91 in the regular season. Well, that takes him individually to 5. Trims the lead to 6. 2 for 2. Just what the Phoenix needed to keep that lead in sight. Only 5 points, but remember they're on 4 fouls, so they're going to be very careful here about committing another, because the Sharks will go to the line. Back it is Mike Gocharobia for his first 2 of the game.
Again, Sharks just smart basketball, playing, taking what the defense gives them. I'm not sure what the foul is.
Foul's going to be on Ricky McGill.
Didn't have a great look at it. You might see it on a replay here. Ricky McGill not agreeing with that one as Planutis heads to the line.
Free throws certainly helping the Phoenix keep in touch here.
Ricky McGill doing a good job of getting out of the way, but swiped at the ball, so gave the ref an excuse to call that one. But you can feel the tension in the air right now, Bob. You can definitely tell this is playoff basketball.
Certain edge about it. Will be all the way through, I'm sure, but they are doing their job on the free throw line, aren't they? 2 from Planutis, 2 from Timberlake, 4 points unanswered has helped them. McGill loses it, and will he get it back in time? He will.
Scott Grayson picking up full court, getting his hands in the way, trying to create deflections. You see here, the Sharks will have to get the ball over the line directly as 8 seconds has already expired.
Need it in play quick, he can't go short. Well, he did kind of go short, and it bounced off James Reese the fifth, but they'll get the little ricochet which went behind, and it will be baseline possession for the Sharks. Bit of a messy period of play there, but they'll get the ball back.
Only 13 seconds left on the shot clock here, so Sharks need to be conscious about their timings.
James Reese the fifth. Ocharovia. McGill for three. Not quite. Not quite. Here's the rebound going to come back. Skylar White clutches it. Scott Grayson, that's going to be an offensive foul, and they'll go to the line with the Sharks.
That's the second offensive foul that Ricky McGill has taken tonight. Great job. Nice heads-up play, getting his body in the right position at the right time. And foul trouble could become an issue later in this game.
Maybe they corrected it. Did it say 4? I make that 5 if that's another foul, but I thought it was 5 fouls. We did say 4.
You don't shoot free throws on an offensive foul.
No. No, but the 5 hasn't come up. Oh, it has now come up. There we go. There's a 5. So I'm waiting for the 5 to be triggered. You're right. Obviously on offensive play. No 2 free throws on that one, but McGill will work his way to the baseline. Oh, threw it away. Well, he didn't quite, because Groves read that intention and puts it away for 2.
Classic shot from Jacob Groves there. Great take, aggressive towards the basket. And he's got that great shooting touch as well.
Scott Grayson, little fake of a pass from Skylar White. Timberlake to go in the corner, but it's not going to come from the corner, and out of bounds, I think. Yeah.
Okay, Sharks got saved by that out of bounds call there. The kick out. He had 2 or 3 options on kickouts for shooters there. Saved by the line.
Ricky McGill calls the play. Might take it all the way himself. No, thought about it. Had a look, there was not really the room. Calls for the crossover with Jeffries. Not quite. And nobody really following it in either, from a Sharks point of view. Timberlake will take it the other way, and an immediate 2 back.
I mean, you expect to see it, that high octane. They're not shy, these Cheshire Phoenix. They'll get down, and if they're open, it's going up.
McGill, though, says, I'm going to do something similar at the other end. You try and stop me, and nobody can.
Well, he's a guy who's definitely not shy. Ricky McGill, aggressive take towards the basket.
Here's the first of them. No. He got 7 out of 10 in practice earlier, and I was watching it, I was counting them. He got 7 out of 10. But not the first one from the big man. But they'll get it back, or will they? Sharks do. Groves for 3. That's not going to drop either. But they get the rebound. Jeffries for 3. That's going to drop, however.
What a sequence from the Sheffield Sharks, sticking with the play, grinding it out, keeping possession, and rewarded with the 3 from Drake Jeffries.
And the 10 points has arrived. So we are tied now in terms of the aggregate score. Scott Grayson off left, and Sharks have it. 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Jeffries goes up for 2.
What a sequence of events here for Drake Jeffries. Hits the 3, next play down the floor, an aggressive take and finish inside. And that pops the Sharks up by 2 on aggregate.
For a while. Let's see what Skylar White can say about that. Well, he again, just a bit too strong. 0 for 2 tonight, going for 100 for the season, but not happening tonight. Maybe Groves, no. Picked up by Eichelrock. Very quick break from Nick Timberlake for 2. That's going to be basket. No basket interference. They want it on the Cheshire team. Not going to get it. So Ricky McGill can take the last offense of this first quarter. It's been high octane, and he's going to go all the way. No, he's not. Skylar White for a very long 3. Wouldn't put it past him, but doesn't quite happen. That was playoff basketball of the highest caliber. First 10 and they wanted the goaltending. They didn't get it, and the Sharks have a 12-point lead at the first break.
Unbelievable defensive play there. Ball was still on its way up, so clean block there. But what a first quarter of basketball. You couldn't have asked for anything else more exciting as we take a quick look at the stats right now. And obviously, the one that immediately jumps out, Sharks have knocked down 12 of 20, whereas Cheshire Phoenix have only knocked down 5 of 15. So the shooting percentage for the Sharks is just really helping them out there. And Cheshire Phoenix live by the 3, die by the 3, 0 for 4 from three-point lands. Even on the rebound war, but that's one that the Sharks will have to win tonight if they want to win this one. And a couple more assists in there as well. Sharks just doing a good job of finding their teammates all around.
Well, pretty highlight to show you for the first quarter. Know how much we can condense all this in.
Well, a great start here from the Sharks on the first 2 possessions. Obviously, Ricky McGill here, great block, just doing a little bit of everything on both ends of the floor. And inside, a couple of possessions where the Sharks just did a great job of creating a mismatch and then finding that mismatch and attacking that mismatch. Here, Clay, distributor, finding Ricky McGill. Great quarter from Ricky, 9 points personal, leading all scorers. The Scott Grayson, the off-balance shot. And then here, Timberlake just showing the kind of speed and tempo that the Phoenix can get up to. And then Drake Jeffries towards the end of the first here, coming alive, hitting a 3, getting inside. But Ricky McGill, definitely the guy you want to keep your eyes on. Red hot right now, 9 first quarter points.
8 from Nick Timberlake, 9 from Ricky McGill, top scorers on both sides. We had 42 points in that first quarter, 27. Remember, the Phoenix scored 32 the other night, 32-23 it was. It was even more high octane on Friday. It did calm down a bit after that. Maybe we're going to be a calmness required in this one as well. Ronnie Glasgow Jr. into the action for the first time for the Sheffield Sharks, the Sharks captain. Spending a lot of time getting Groves into position, and now Michael Tarobia with the offensive foul.
That's the 3rd offensive foul called in this game so far. At least the refs are being consistent with that call on both ends. But it's a physical game out there. Both teams are playing, you know, with some muscle, with their heart on their sleeves. So it's a good heads-up play from any defender to start taking charges in this game.
Neither coach really happy with the offensive foul calls today, but nonetheless, they are consistent. The refs are being right on the bump when it comes to that. TJ Atwood for 2. Oh, way short, but they may get it back. And that's going to be a foul by Drake Jeffries on Larry Austin Jr.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Larry Austin Jr. is a very good offensive rebounder. He has been all over the map tonight. And even if he hasn't got the rebound, he's at least got a hand on it and had influence on the ball, trying to make a deflection, get it going in the right direction. But just love the aggressiveness and the heart that this guy plays with.
Well, I was just about to say they've been pretty good from the free throw line, but that one goes a begging. They're still 2 adrift on aggregate as we get into the second quarter. But he's 1 for 2 in his last time at the free throw line as well. That one is okay. He goes to 2. They trim the lead to 11. Jacob Groves goes from right hand to left hand, gives himself a bit of room to move down the left hand side of the court. Short to Jeffries. Now Ronnie Glasgow Jr. looked at the options. There wasn't one initially for him, so he has to work it back and then he'll lose it. And that'll be a steal, and it will be 2 put away by Larry Austin Jr. And Team Lions have seen enough for the time being.
Wow, you can feel the energy, Larry Austin Jr. The great defensive possession there, putting pressure on Rodney Glasgow Jr., tipping that ball out, and he's off to the races. See here, look at, he's on him like glue here, and then keeps it up, keeps pushing it down, off to the races, and a great finish from him inside. He's the kind of guy who can shift that momentum and use great defense to create great offense.
106 plays 107. 9 points, the advantage now for the Sheffield Sharks. It's tight, as indeed it is in two of the other playoff quarterfinals. And of course, all those games we play tomorrow. And the only one that looks to be out of sight, though Bristol will have other thoughts, I'm sure, is the one up against Leicester. But Newcastle Manchester is very tight, and Surrey at home to London. That'll be the game I'll be watching tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Surrey have beat London at home before. A 5-point deficit for them. Definitely doable. Obviously, 10-point deficit here in Sheffield. Newcastle up 7 on Manchester heading into that second leg. But Leicester obviously running away with a 23-point lead against Bristol. So big deficit for that for Bristol to overcome.
Well, I'm sure they'll go up there with the best of intentions, but Leicester are very hard to beat on their court, as they've proved this year. There's a possibility of some of the matchups going the right way, that Leicester could play Sheffield in the semi-finals, but there's a few permutations yet before we get there. Anderson, very good marking up, very good D here by the Phoenix. It's not really their specialty, but they've done really well again to stop there being a short-range shot available. Atwood to Austin Jr. He really has got the bit between his teeth today, hasn't he? Eichelrock, baseline, they've covered him, they've still covered him, and there's the foul.
And that's a smart play there from RJ, the former Shark, making the move over to Cheshire this past summer. There's a great take down the middle, just taking his time, not forcing a shot, getting his defender in there. You see here, nice drive to the baseline, cuts him off, gets the spin, gets his defender in the air, and earns himself a trip to the charity stripe.
2 for Eichelrock to start his scoring. Lead down to 8. 6 Phoenix scorers now on the scoreboard. And he does what some of his other teammates couldn't do and puts 2 for 2. And Sharks have to try and rebuild again. Get back to that double-figure lead is what they need. Nixon, this is really good work. Tell you what, Larry Austin Jr. is having an absolute purple patch in this game at both ends of the court. But Clay says, I'm going one too far with that one. And it's Phoenix who have it. Eichelrock and, Clay's down. While we're looking at Donovan Clay is down at the other end. That does not look good.
Yeah, it's down on the ground, grabbing his ankle. He's just got back to his feet here. Trying to walk it off slowly. Take a quick look, trying to see what happened here. RJ on the take. Called for the foul. But meanwhile, down the other end, Donovan Clay was rolling around on the ground, grabbing his ankle. And that would be a huge, huge miss for the Sharks if that was a serious injury.
Yeah, that means the bench players have to step up. Well, he's out. We don't know how long he'll be out for. The physio will have a look. They'll put some ice on it. They'll need him back in if they can get him back in, but that won't be a concern for the Phoenix. They're just thinking about putting some more points on the board. Eichelrock, that's going to drop very, very short. Straight in the hands of McGill, who's going to have to probably get up his game by about 10% now to make up for the absence of Donovan Clay. And there's 2, is it? No, just a little bit shy. Just not quite getting those quality shots away at the moment. The Sharks, they were earlier, and that one will fall obligingly for Jacob Groves, who said, let's get this moving quickly. Come on. Anderson. Backing in. Groves has lost it.
Again, great pass from Groves to get down there. Good take inside, but even better hands from RJ Eichelrock to get the ball back into Phoenix possession.
Larry Austin Jr. has had a really good time. Skylar White will put that one in and out, and there's a foul under the hoop committed by Jamal Anderson.
I'll tell you what, Cheshire Phoenix are so good on the offensive glass. They're just relentless in the way that they attack and position themselves. And all those trips down, every time that ball pops out, you're able to create all those second chance opportunities.
5 team fouls now for the Sharks compared to none for the Phoenix. Atwood didn't put a foot wrong on Friday night, and adds to his tally 5, so 6 points the differential, maybe shortly to be 5 it is. And Sharks without Donovan Clay, and they've got 5 team fouls up on the board. It's not working their way in the second quarter by any means. Ricky McGill will drive and will get dispossessed by Cam Holden. It's all going in the Phoenix way right now. White will put it up for 2. It rolls out, and it's going to be whose ball? That's going to be
You cannot fault
Phoenix ball.
the Cheshire Phoenix in their efforts towards rebounding tonight is absolutely incredible. We see here Skylar White just not able to find the basket there, but great defensive play from Groves. And then again on the ground, every time that ball is loose, the Phoenix are like rabid dogs trying to get to it.
Well, they are out-muscling the Sharks right now by quite some way. Physicality is definitely coming from the away team. Sharks got themselves in a bit of a hole here. Timeout has been called by the Sheffield Sharks just to calm things down, really, because the whole game has kind of gone out of control from their point of view.
Well, I think defensively, they're just not controlling it the way they usually do. You know, this is a pretty sound defensive team in the Sheffield Sharks. We all know Coach Atiba Lyons is a defense-first kind of guy, but the physicality and the aggressiveness from the Cheshire Phoenix right now is kind of hard to harness and manage, especially with guys like Larry Austin Jr. and TJ Atwood. The way that they attack the offensive glass is absolutely incredible. But we knew this was going to be a physical game. We knew it was going to be a scrappy game. And again, the atmosphere, the playoff atmosphere in here is absolutely incredible. You can tell that this is a do-or-die situation, and these guys all came to play.
Well, Sheffield started this quarter 27-15 up. Look at the scoreline now. They haven't scored in a long, long time. They haven't scored in the last 3.5. In fact, they haven't scored for 5 minutes now. That's I can't remember a time this season when that's been the case.
No, definitely not. And I think it's all that foul trouble that they kind of got into early. You know, the whistles keep stopping play, stopping their momentum. Whereas the Phoenix have been able to find a way to thrive through that. Only 7 points for the Phoenix this quarter, but all they need to do is keep chipping away at that lead and maintain the advantage in the aggregate.
Also got to be smart on the fouls now as well, Sharks, because every time they foul, then the Phoenix will get a chance to go to the line. They've been pretty decent tonight for the most part, although a big collapse. Oh my goodness me, Nick Timberlake just collapsed into Prentice Nixon. Nixon now is also on the floor, and that'll be an offensive foul, the 4th one we've seen tonight.
4 offensive fouls called so far tonight, but again, just reiterating the physicality of these two teams. They're both getting into it, but a smart defensive play here. We see a little bit, looked like a little bit of a hold from Timberlake, and then they got wrapped up, and then Timberlake threw Nixon off him. So Nixon just kind of licking his wounds there for a second, took a bit of a knock on the way down. But he's the type of player that can kind of shake it off and keep going immediately.
Got a little bit of WWE about this game at the moment, hasn't it? It's incredibly intense. It's incredibly physical. And at the moment, the Phoenix are out muscling the Sharks. But that will be a foul on Larry Austin Jr.
And I think that's...
Oh, get off. Yeah.
That's a smart play from Nixon right there. I mean, kind of slowed it down, forced the refs into a call there. Larry Austin Jr. doing a great job on the defensive end, but a little bit too aggressive on that play.
McGill, been quiet for a while, and now what's the call? The foul is on Nick Timberlake. They're starting to rack him up now.
Yeah, well, was the referees were swinging in one direction at the beginning of the quarter. Now the few calls going in the other direction. Just, yeah, valid call there as well. I mean, a lot of holding, a lot of cheap stuff going on. You got to be able to manage that.
5 fouls against 3 fouls. Now it's changed a lot, and that's a lovely play involving Jamel Anderson for 2.
Beautiful take from Jamel Anderson. The curl, getting right in front of his defender, and an easy finish. Great 2 points to get them back into the swing of things.
7 points now between the two. Sharks desperately needed that. They haven't scored in a long, long time. Eichelroth shapes as if to shoot, doesn't. Then Scott Grayson, that's too strong surely, and then putting it back in, Skylar White for his first 2, and the foul? Yep. Fouls on Drake Jeffries.
Wow, Skylar White bringing the energy. He was fired up after that call, after being relatively quiet for the early goings of this game. He puts that one in and is rewarded with a trip to the line here. And again, the Sharks just not doing a good job of locating their marks and putting a body on them early on the glass. They've got to be able to box out and control the boards.
Bryce Nixon's asking for a bit of attention to his nose, by the way. He's just gone off the court, so he'll be off for a little while. They're missing Donovan Clay. Skylar White puts away the bonus, and they're back to 4 points now. It's 12 points, remember, going into this quarter. Now it's back to a 4-point ball game, and the Sharks need a lot more than that. McGill, Anderson, this is the quick rotation they were showing early on, which is working so effectively for them. McGill shapes, goes for 3!
Oh my Lord! Ricky McGill bringing the playground to the floor, but all of a sudden a barrage of whistles going on. I think we've seen technicals on both sides of the ball right here. Didn't see exactly what happened. You might have to get a little replay of this. Ricky McGill, so good off the dribble. Beautiful three-pointer from him, and then we see Ocharobia and TJ Atwood getting into it there. And the referee's getting involved right away. They want to try and calm this situation down.
Well, 5 fouls out for the Sharks, 4 for the Cheshire Phoenix. We're almost in bonus territory for both, and we still got. And there's another one. This is turning out to be like rollerball without the roller skates. It is such a physical. I don't think I've seen a more physical game this year.
So many whistles being blown in this quarter, but to be honest, most of them valid. I mean, it's a physical game out there.
So Sharks are on 5 team fouls and Cheshire on 4, so that means that Cam Holden will go to the line for 2.
Let me see.
And he hasn't yet scored, but will, probably, as Donovan goes back in. So that's relief for the Sharks fans, and indeed for the Sharks team, because he's back on. Yeah, the nasty fall earlier is okay, it seems.
Oh, what a reception he got as soon as he took the floor. Phenomenal season from Donovan Clay so far, and they're going to need him in this one if they want to get back on top.
Ooh, that's a terrible free throw. That's one of mine. That barely touched the bottom of the basket, that one, but 1 out of 2. I think it just about touched the netting, but only just. Anyway, what it means is we got a 6-point ball game, and we have 5. We're not even halfway through this quarter yet. It's ridiculous. 5 minutes gone. So much has happened in that time. Jacob Groves shakes for the 2 and gets the 2.
He's surgical out there, Bob. The way the pump fake, the one dribble, making it look beautiful.
Atwood, Holden, pretty better on his drive than it was on his free throw. A lovely jam from Tyree Scott Grayson.
Big finish above the rim, an incredible backdoor cut and a find for him.
Now Clay, now they are rotating. Groves on 3, takes it to 7, and the lead to 9.
Wow, what a momentum shift. Jacob Groves making it look easy from long range.
Holden backs up. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Will drive. Will put it back out for short attempt, and the rebound will be at the shots for Rotino. And now for Clay. Underneath the two goes Jamel Anderson, and it's timeout time for the Cheshire Phoenix.
And once again, Sheffield Sharks finding their footing, finding a way to attack and play that high-octane style of basketball. Cheshire Phoenix, you know, a little bit up and down from them in the last couple minutes right there. The referee's making a lot of calls, but Sharks doing a good job of pulling it back. 11-point lead, exactly what they need on the aggregate. Take a quick look here at Jacob Groves. Some great plays from him. Look at that little pump fake. He's so good off the dribble for a guy his size, and then the swing around the horn. And he's a guy who averages over 40% from three. And then this play, Jamel Anderson just doing a good job of blending into the background and being unseen by the defense, and then a good backdoor cut. So all of a sudden you got a 7-point swing from the Sharks, and they're back on top.
All right, Mike, tell me, did you enjoy games like this?
Oh, this is what you play for. These are the atmospheres. These are the days. This is why you play. You wanted to be in these big moments, these big games. I kind of liked it when you had a little bit more of a lead, though, Bob. I'm not going to lie.
The physicality, though. I mean, there's a lot of physicality. I mean, there's a lot of things happening on the ball, off the ball, around the ball. That played
right into my style of play. I used to throw some elbows around back in my day, so I would have thrived in a situation like this. But like we said at the beginning of the game, foul trouble is something that they're going to have to watch out for. Obviously, Michael Cherubi on 3 fouls. If you look over on the other side, Timberlake, Holden, and Larry Austin Jr. all on 2. So everyone's got to be conscious of the way the refs are calling the game now.
Cam Holden down to 9. Needs an option, needs an outlet. The outlet is Timberlake, and he'll put it away for 2, and he gets the first man to go to double figures in the game. Actually, first man on the Cheshire side to go double figures.
Timberlake is so good in that catch and shoot situation. You know, they ran him off a nice little screen and a curl there to open space. And does such a good job of his catching and shooting, quick release.
Oh, there's a bumping and boring going on there too. Rotino for 3!
And you love to see it. The vet, Jordan Rotino. You've seen a few of those in his day.
Holden for the Phoenix. 3 minutes to go in this very entertaining, very physical, very open first half. Atwood not giving any room. That's great work by Donovan Clay. Look at that. That was great work by Donovan Clay.
Wow. Donovan Clay out there moving like a dog, keeping his feet solid in front of his defender. Atwood just didn't have anywhere to go on that one. And great job here, keeping his happy feet going, keep moving, putting pressure on Atwood and forcing Atwood into a tough spot at the end.
Back at the other end, McGill. Anderson is, Timberlake is so physical tonight. I know you're, let's give it a one with Jamel.
You love to see it from Jamel Anderson. It's pretty rare that we see too much emotion out of him, but already a few moments tonight where we've seen him get super fired up. Some great offensive production from him so far, 7 points. And great take here. Look at just being aggressive, using his length and his athleticism to get the finish.
1 for 2 earlier, but that one goes away. So that is 2 for 3 for Jamel Anderson tonight. And Sharks 15 up. That's an overall advantage of 5 now. Idle Rock, White looking for it. That's going to be Timberlake's going to be a bit too strong on that one. And rebound comes for Groves. And again, there's some impetus here from the Sharks. Anderson has nowhere to go, but he finds Clay, who does have somewhere to go. That'll be an offensive foul too. Number 5 of the game.
It is a charge fest. Everybody's getting charged up out here. But another take. They see a guy, offensive player, going head of steam downhill. Did a great job of just getting in his way and taking the charge.
It's that kind of game. It really is. Imagine what the second half's going to be like. This is the first half. TJ Atwood, Eichelroth, will stop being driven because Groves is in his way. Groves has done again a great job. Can they get the shot away? They can from the corner in 3 for TJ Atwood.
TJ Atwood, so versatile, obviously able to attack you on the drive and in the paint, but he's got that 3 in his bag as well.
Ricky McGill will take it to the hoop and he'll pull it away for 2. 14 points personal now.
He's looking like a magician out there. Now you see me, now you don't. Can't stay in front of Ricky McGill.
Skylar White, haven't seen him much from three-point range yet. This will be a short 2. That's not going to fall. Away for whom? Eventually for Jordan Ratino. Coast to coast for 2 more.
Great strong take from Ratino, able to get the steal, get out on the break, and a nice easy finish for 2.
Wow. It's a 16-point lead. Prentice Nixon has got the mask on now, as you can see. For the protection there for Prentice Nixon. That one's going to fall to whom? There is a foul under the hoop on Donovan Clay, is it? No, it's not. It's on Jamal Anderson.
Jamal Anderson, that'll be his second foul.
And obviously, because they're on team fouls of 5, that means the Phoenix will go to the line, and the man to go to the line will be Larry Olsen Jr.
Well, if you're the Phoenix right now, this is exactly what you need. A little whistle, a stop and play. Just calm things down for a second. Let's catch our breath. Get a free throw in here and chip away at this lead that the Sharks have accrued throughout this second quarter.
Back in is Ray Jeffries, and Donovan Clay comes back out. We'll see Prentice Nixon with that face mask at some point. Larry Austin Jr. Ooh, too strong. Missed one of his first 2 in the game. This is that one. There's the aggregate score on your screen, 128-122. Larry Austin Jr. Can he put his second one down? Indeed he does. And the lead on the night is 15, which means the Sharks are 5 up on aggregate. McGill. 30 seconds remaining, just about. McGill. Oh, I didn't think that was going to drop it. Most certainly did.
What a night we've seen from Ricky McGill. 16 points personal with the fall-away jumper. With only 20 seconds left here. Incredible play from him.
Scott Grayson will try and draw a foul, get him to the line if he possibly can. Skylar White, they're going to go, and Timberlake does get fouled by Ratino. And that will be an and 1.
The physicality continues. A great take from Timberlake there. He's, very strong play from him. And Sharks just defensively not cutting him off in time. It was a great curl there. Put Ratino in a tough spot. Had to get over there aggressively with his hands up, and it's a foul.
10.8 seconds remaining in the half. Nick Timberlake on 12. Trying to go 13. Trim that lead to 14. Yep. But Sheffield will have the last possession in this half. And they've got almost 11 seconds to do something with it. Now, what are they going to do with it? Are they going to look for the three-point attempt? Are they going to look to try and get a bit more margin? Ricky McGill's doing just that. But the rebound will come and be thrown full length of the court by RJ Eichelroth. And what a first half that was. Breathtaking, edge of the seat stuff. Don't think either coach is happy with how the game's been officiated, but it's been very even-handed, and there have been fouls aplenty, points aplenty, and 51-37, 14-point lead. So Sharks actually extended their lead in that second quarter when they're really under the cosh for a bit of it.
Yeah, a bit more even in that second quarter. 24 points for the Sharks, 22 points for the Phoenix, but they're still just building on that lead that they built up in that first quarter. We take a quick look at the stats here. Again, the Sharks just doing a great job in field goal percentage. They've knocked in 22 shots already tonight. But the Cheshire Phoenix doing a really good job of getting to the line. 14 free throws for them so far. Rebound war relatively even. Cheshire Phoenix 2 more rebounds, but the Sharks doing a great job of moving that ball around the horn. 13 assists, and then 5 steals for the Cheshire Phoenix. Most of those creating offensive opportunities down the other end. But the one thing I will say about the Sharks is that the offensive rebounding from the Phoenix, it wasn't addressed in that first quarter, early second quarter, but they really hammered down on that towards the end of that second quarter, and I think that was a difference maker for them.
Right, well, there's lots to look over in that first 20 minutes. A lot of physicality and a lot of good buckets too.
Great defensive play here from Ricky McGill. What a night he's having so far. 16 first half points from him, emerging as the leader and leading all scorers so far. Incredible acrobatic play there from Scott Grayson, and then Nick Timberlake just getting out on the break. He's got the green light. Only Phoenix player in double figures right now, and that's one of the 5 steals that the Phoenix had, leading down to good offense down the other end for Larry Austin Jr. He's been playing with his heart on his sleeve all night. TJ Atwood inside, trying to keep up from where he picked up off from the other night. Skylar White, relatively quiet so far, but that N1 play from him got him going. But the man of the first half right there, Ricky McGill, so hard to stay in front of him. Great finish above the rim there from Tyreek Scott Grayson. And we see Jacob Groves, lots of contributions from the Sheffield Sharks. Pretty much everybody who's touched the floor tonight has put the ball in the basket. Great kick from Donovan Clay. Jordan Bertino there, big 3 from him. And Ricky McGill doing a great job of getting to his spot. He knows where he needs to get his shot off from and when he needs to get his shot off.
So 51-37 at halftime, which means the Sharks on aggregate are up by 4. We have an incredible second half to bring you in about 12 minutes time, so don't go too far away. We will just whet your appetite and your palate with an interview with Prentice Nixon and the Place of the Week. We're back soon. See you shortly. Bye.
A new dawn rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.
The most prestigious event in the British Basketball Diary and the culmination of the Super League basketball season. It's time for the playoffs. The top 8 teams from the regular season take part in a seeded knockout competition to determine who are the best ballers in the country. Franchises are seeded according to their final positions in the championship table. They must battle through 2-legged quarter-final and semi-final ties if they have any hope of booking a place at the grand finale in London at the O2 Arena on May the 18th. Let the games begin.
Sheffield means a lot, man. They picked me up at a time when I didn't have a job. I was at home kind of just working a job in the grocery store late nights, just trying to keep my dream alive, playing professional basketball. And Coach Atiba called me and Sheffield came through, and I mean, they mean the world to me. I hope, they feel that love every time I step on the court for them and the passion I feel for this city and these fans and this organization. Without them, I don't know where my career would be at right now, so I owe them everything at this moment in time.
Nixon for 3, splashes it.
I think as time went on, as I got better, I kind of realized I could take this a long way. And when offers start rolling in, then you kind of put in perspective, if you work hard enough, you could really be a pro at this. You could really do this for a long time. And that's what keeps me motivated now. Just that kid that had a dream, and just, playing basketball at the highest of highs. And I mean, I don't know, it's taking me this far, so who knows how far it can take me in the future. When I transferred to Iowa State, I ended up playing with a guy named Tyrese Halliburton. He's a starting point guard for the Pacers, one of my close friends. I played with a guy named Mario Sheffield that plays in the EuroLeague with Tel Aviv. Nick Weiler-Bad plays in Bayern Munich right now. So I play with a slew of guys that just are looked at some of the best in the world, and it kind of makes you step your game up, man. My Iowa State was a learning process because, you know, coming from Colorado State, I was averaging maybe 17, 18 points a game, and transferring to a Big 12 school with guys like that, it doesn't put you at the bottom of the totem pole, but it just puts in perspective like how much work you got to do to continue to get better at your craft and continue to like elevate and develop. I think by the way I play, I think the passion I play with makes me feel bigger than what I am on the court. You know, being 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", however you want to call it, people look at you a certain way. I mean, all my life has been like that. For the longest, I wasn't a point guard. I was too small to play the two. So I've heard a lot of things. You know, I'm not athletic enough. I don't shoot the ball well enough. I heard it all. But at the end of the day, I'm a basketball player, and I can play with the best of them, man. I can go out there, you roll the balls out. By the time the game's over, it don't matter if he's 6'2" or he's 6'5". Like, my impact on the game, I think, goes a long way. I want to win as much as we can. I mean, I feel like Sheffield deserves that. This organization deserves that. To be looked at as one of the premier teams in this league, you gotta have some hardware. So I think we got all the tools in the making for it. But we gotta take it one day at a time. And remember, like, you know, it's gonna be a target on our back because we got a lot of talent. But at the end of the day, dogs gotta hunt. So that's what we're gonna go do.
A new dawn has risen in British hoops as Super League basketball has taken center stage. But this is about more than basketball. This is where legends rise and rivalries are written. Every game is a battle, every moment is electric, and every fan is a part of the journey. It's time to stand tall as the future unfolds and Super League basketball gets set to be bigger and better than anything we've seen before. New season, new stories, new champions to be crowned. From the opening tip to the final buzzer, every second counts. Every shot matters. Nothing is given, everything is earned. So who will rise, who will dominate, and who will make history?
Okoro gets into the key through the contact, and Okoro will go to the line for a bonus free throw.
Great little hand. Can he finish it off? He can.
My.
Outrageous.
That was outrageous. The Bell Ramsey.
Right, goes baseline. Right-handed, oh, it almost went. Then Shelton gets the offensive board and the throwdown, hangs on the rim and earns a technical for his efforts.
Unbelievable work there from Duke Shelton.
Here's Hunt, Chilivinskas now. Inside to, oh my goodness, it's blocked by McCormack as Adelakun was going up for the dunk. And it's stolen away by Timberlake. Knicks in transition. Timberlake with a two-handed jam.
Wow, flying through the air. Timberlake there with that two-hand throw down.
Mitchell swats it away. And DJ Mitchell racing back on defense. Gets down the court with a big block.
Dunk incoming, no! Blocked by Adelakun, not in my house!
Not at the SSP.
Austin, right to the rim again, followed by Holden, who jams it in.
What a good follow from Cam. And he's talking his talk to the Newcastle bench.
Hunter's looking for options, pass inside, that's nice of Johnson, off the glass and in.
Unbelievable pass. His hang time was enough there and good movement off the ball
by Spencer Johnson, who lays it in.
Oh, what a throwdown. Del Pesh is on fire at the moment in these 2 games versus Surrey.
I think he just wants to get on the top 10 plays.
And back at the Cannon Medical Arena, it's half-time in the second leg of this quarter-final of the Super League basketball between the Sheffield Sharks and Cheshire Phoenix. And 51-37 on the night. Remember, 10-point advantage for the Phoenix coming into tonight, but now 4 points up, thanks mainly to this man.
I mean, Ricky McGill, what a first half he had. You can see right from the beginning of the game, he was just playing headstrong, physical, aggressive, both ends of the floor here. Big block from him, and that's led to his 16 points. He's got 2 rebounds. He's got 4 assists and that block in there as well, but he just does such a good job of getting to where he wants to get on the floor and knowing where he can finish the best. And then you see here, off the dribble again, finding that mid-range, rising up, able to get that ball over outstretched defenders' hands. Ricky McGill is your leading scorer.
So 16 points leading all the scores to Ricky McGill, and the highest scorer at the moment for Cheshire Phoenix is Nick Timberlake with 11, and a very physical game from him today.
I mean, that's the kind of player that Nick Timberlake is. He's a north-south physical kind of player we see here. It always looks like he's just headstrong. He's just heading downhill at all times. But great job of finding him in the catch and shoot situations. He's really good catch and shoot. He's the only Phoenix player in double figures right now. 11 points personal for Nick Timberlake.
He's going to be quite influential in the second half, I'm sure. Don't forget, TJ Atwood with 9. He got 28 the other night, 11 today for Timberlake, but TJ Atwood's on the verge of double figures. Haven't seen the big bomb squad from Skylar White yet, but he hasn't made a 3-pointer yet. But we're going to talk about one of the British basketball legends. In your picture now, right on camera, is Vince McCauley.
Vince McCauley, former head coach of the London Lions. Very decorated coach, and it's good to see some British basketball royalty pulling up here at the Cannon Medical Arena. Back involved with basketball down south with Thames Valley, trying to build up that program there, but he had some absolutely fantastic years with the Lions not too long ago, and he's still in the building, he's still around, so good to see him here in Sheffield today.
Now Skylar White's dad is in the building as well, and there he is, and of course became grandfather on Friday night.
That's it, Grandpa White in the building here, checking out his son. Obviously their family involved in the ownership of the Cheshire Phoenix, so big moment for them. Playoffs is when it matters.
We had Granny Clay in the building last week. This week we have Granddad White.
Granddad White.
We're not ageist here, are we? But there is Skylar. Hasn't had the big impact on the game yet. Hasn't scored a 3-pointer yet. He has scored 3 points, but not a 3-pointer, and he is 6 away from getting 100 for the season in both the regular season and the playoffs. And we're going to see the reintroduction of Prentice Nixon.
Face mask, Nixon. Love to see it. Took the knock to the face midway through that second quarter, but nothing's going to stop him from getting back out here on the floor.
Stand by. Edge of the seat stuff absolutely predicted in the next 20 minutes. Timberlake puts 2 away and he goes to 13 straight away.
A great take from Timberlake there, getting the offense going early. If you're the Phoenix, you want to really make a stamp on the game early in this second half.
Donovan Clay will have Prentice Nixon as that great foil out there for him if he requires that. The Ricky McGill might be the other option, and it is, and there's another 2. He goes to 80. Anything you can do, Nick Timberlake, I can do too.
He's just a pure shooter, and like I said at the half, he just does such a great job of getting to his spots where he knows he can be effective.
Holden will try and drive, though, put it out. Now Atwood looks for the two, going to try and burst to the basket, and does, and he goes to 11.
It was a solid defensive effort from Jamel Anderson right there, but Atwood just hanging in the air and able to finish that one off.
Rutino, Anderson, good outside rotation. Nixon, oh, he hasn't lost his touch even with the mask.
No mask is stopping this guy. Right into the game, right back involved. Big three from him.
Holden, nice hook shot, but not going to land. And it is John McClay with the rebound. McGill transfers it from right to left. That's not a great pass. And Larry Austin Jr. says, thank you, I'll take that. And we'll put it in for another two, courtesy of Nick Timberlake, who now goes to 15.
That's 3 steals for Larry Austin Jr. Great job of creating that offense down the other end. And it's kind of match for match points here. Back and forth action.
McGill was fouled in the act shooting. That'll be a 3-point attempt from the line.
And that will be Larry Austin Jr.'s 3rd foul, and we said it's just something that comes with, you know, playing aggressive defense, trying to be all up on your man. And here, just a little bit too much, but it's just a smart play from Ricky McGill, you know, seeing that the defender was a little bit off balance and had a lot of momentum going downhill. Ricky McGill pulls up for that shot.
Larry Austin Jr.'s 3rd, by the way. That will find its way in for Ricky McGill. He's got a chance again for the 20s here. On 19 now with 2 more to come. Yeah, so Larry Austin Jr. on 3. Early in the second half. That's one to note. 2 for 2. Of Jeromeus, the other player who's on 3 in the game for the Sharks. McGill a chance to extend this lead to 16 points, which will be an overall aggregate advantage of 6 for the Sharks, and all 3 find the target.
Wow. Ricky McGill, we're barely touched the sides in this second half, and he's already up at 21 points.
Timberlake will drive, put it out for Atwood. Atwood swerves, looks like he was maybe going to go for it. Bounce pass inside for Larry Austin Jr. Timberlake is short, but then jammed back in by Cam Holden.
And a great offensive rebound for Cam Holden. Bumps him up to 3 points. He's been relatively quiet. That could be something that could get him going.
That's a foul on Timberlake, and that's his 3rd.
Larry Austin
Oh,
Jr.
sorry, it's on Austin. Oh, is that Austin?
Yeah, it looks like he took a
That's
knock.
on Austin. Well, that's his 4th then. That's his 4th.
Not sure if it was... Looks like it could be his hip flexor or his groin. But like I mentioned, that foul trouble could be detrimental, and looks like he's in quite a bit of pain there. But 4 fouls from him. He's been kind of leading the break defensively for this Phoenix squad. Got to be a big miss for them.
They know how dangerous Nixon is. They're trying to keep him quiet as best they can. Trying to keep this man quiet too. Donovan Clay back out for Nixon. Oh, Prentice Nixon does it again.
Incredible heads-up play there from Donovan Clay. Saw the double team comes. Kicked right back out to Nixon. Big 3.
Very big 3 in context. That's short. That's short. But Atwood has it back in for 2 more. Atwood is so accurate from that range. He goes to 13. The lead is 15.
Great offensive rebound again. That's what's been keeping this Phoenix team going. Their offensive glass.
McGill, finger roll for 2.
This guy is unstoppable. 23 points in the 3rd quarter.
Rebound for Rutino. Try and slow the pace down. This is frantic stuff. McGill not going to find its way. Rebound for Skylar White. Away goes Scott Grayson. Just take a breath, Ballard. Take a breath. It's one of those games. Baseline, and that will be out of bounds.
I don't know if you can see in the corner, Nick Timberlake has gone down. Looks like he's clenching his foot there. And just bad timing for people to be going down. Obviously, Larry Austin Jr. on the bench with an injury and 4 fouls. Nick Timberlake gripping his foot here. And it's that time of season right now. It's playoffs, end of the season. Guys looking like he rolled his ankle, but he is walking away. We'll take a quick look at it here. Oh, and he just, no one around him. You hate to see it. Just one of those ones where he just tweaked it on the run. So he's on the bench now getting treatment. We'll see where he's at in a couple of minutes.
Physios are busy tonight. A lot of work going on, a lot of rest. They have boxing in this arena quite often. It's that kind of night, isn't it? But we need the physios in there. McGill trying to be a bit too fancy on this occasion. Wasn't able to deliver. Atwood. Flonutis, haven't seen him much in the game. He's got a couple of free throws. That's his contribution. Scott Grayson, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Scott Grayson backs in. Has to push it out to Eichel Rock. Will be an offensive foul, number 6.
Well, it's that kind of night. And they're calling them both ways. Both teams doing a great job on defense of positioning themselves at the right place at the right time. And again, Jamel Anderson fired up from that play. We see the kick out here. Great drive from RJ, but Jamel Anderson just getting his body in the right place, right time. So 6 different charge calls called tonight so far.
64-47. Not even halfway through this third quarter. Donovan Clay to Rotino. Anderson, the switch play here maybe with Nixon. Nixon just a bit tied up. No, he isn't. Oh, he's going to get 3 from the line here. He's just been fouled. And the foul is on TJ Atwood. And that means Nixon will go to the line for 3.
And that's Atwood's 3rd foul as well. Again, one of the things when you're playing that aggressive style defense and getting up on your defender, you get into their cylinder. And Nixon just doing a good job of getting the shot off quick, but Atwood just a little bit too much in his face on that one.
Trace Nixon already in double figures. Whoop. Ooh. I think I'll tell you what happened there. His mask, he's thrown the mask away. He's thrown the mask away because that slipped as he took that free throw. Well, and he felt totally
he went to pull the ball. The ball hit the mask and he shot it. And he threw it off into the crowd. The crowd was absolutely loving that one.
But throw it into the crowd now, that mask. Maybe somebody will get that later on. 203, as Meatloaf once said, ain't bad.
I said, here, I'm going to sacrifice my good looks. That doesn't matter.
Your good looks? Okay. Atwood to Planutis. Eichel Rock. Oh, what a game this is. 4 seconds before he needs to take a shot here. Is he going to get it one away? It's going to come off the hand of Jordan Rotino. Had the clock gone down to 0 hand, that will be Sharks' ball.
Beautiful hands there from Jordan Rotino. Sharks really putting that effort on the defensive end, trying to clamp up the Cheshire Phoenix team that has still not really hit their stride on the offensive end yet.
19 points, the advantage. 9 in effect overall for the Sharks. Nixon on 12 points personal. Ricky McGill leading all scorers on 23. Not quite this time for Prentice Nixon, and Timberlake will get the rebound, and they need something urgently here to the Phoenix, and they're going to get it. Not this time from Planutis.
Well, that's
Sharks, calm down, says Prentice Nixon. Come on, let's take our time. We have 24 seconds. Why rush?
I think Cheshire could probably take a page out of that book. A lot of quick shots, a lot of quick threes. They're 1 for 14 from
Nixon
3.
Gets fouled again. Foul is on Scott Grayson. That's his 2nd.
And the Sharks just steadily applying the pressure on this Cheshire Phoenix defense. Looking like a little bit of fatigue is settling in for this Knicks team. But Prentice Nixon just unafraid and aggressive, earning himself a few trips to the line here.
13 points personal for Prentice Nixon now. Time to go to 14, and if he does go to 14, the lead will be 21. The biggest lead of the game for the Sharks.
What an effort here from the Sheffield Sharks. When you thought they were done and dusted after that first leg, a 10-point deficit, and they come in here bringing the energy. Over a 20-point lead at the moment.
The Cannon Medical Arena is absolutely rocking. It really is. And that will be Sharks ball, and things are just falling apart for the Phoenix.
Incredible job from James Reese V there, just playing good defense. As we see Larry Austin Jr. injected back into the game after being subbed out for a little injury, but he's got to be careful. He's on 4 fouls right now, and still a lot of time to play in this one.
Clay, little quick give and go to Ricky McGill. Then a crossover from Reese. 10 seconds, here comes Ricky. There goes the ball. Off the back iron. Falls to Atwood. Holden will go for it. That didn't look great when it left his hand. It wasn't great when it landed either. Austin. Now Atwood hasn't got anywhere to go. He's going to have to drive and back in, and
on the floor.
It's a foul. I just want to see where he travelled then, because I thought he might have travelled, but he didn't.
James
Reese the fifth. I thought he might have travelled, actually. I thought he got an extra step, but...
A quick look at it here. See, good defense from Anderson. It was Reese who was pushing Holden on the outside holding call.
Very tight, couldn't get it away. Sharks have it again, and there's going to be a foul on Cam Holden.
It was a great rebound from Jamel Anderson there, not giving anything away and doing a good job of being physical, keeping hold of that ball, squeezing it tight.
5 team fouls now for the Phoenix.
Like we said, a lot of whistles tonight. The refs getting involved, but they're controlling the game, calling it both ways. Sharks just benefiting this quarter. A lot of trips to the line.
Jamel to the line, I think, for the 3rd time tonight. He's got 3 out of 4, I think. Is that right?
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, yeah. So to the line again.
But Jamel Anderson, how influential has he been tonight on both sides of the ball? 8 points personal.
That one finds its way into the 9. Double-figure score for Jamel if he can get this in, and Sharks up by 22.
Anderson just bringing his wealth of experience to this Sharks team this year. And it all sums that up in the playoffs here.
2 for 2 this time round for Jamel, and he goes to double figures along with Nixon, along with McGill in the Sheffield Sharks lineup. Now they need some bombs from White. Not this time. Clay advances it with 3 minutes to go in this quarter. Says, come on, take it off me, James Reese the 5th. And again, they're using the 24-second shot clock pretty wisely. McGill not off this time. Actually, just off right. And that will be Phoenix ball. 70-47, 23-point lead. Biggest of the game. That means it's a 13-point advantage overall for the Sharks as Nixon comes back with another mask.
Oh, he's got the beauty mask back on, baby. Just trying to keep those good looks intact. Maybe just take it off for the free throws, though. He knows when that close-up camera's on him.
Well, he's been obviously advised to put it back on. Didn't like it from the free-throw line, though, and Timberlake gets fouled. And then we'll go to the line for 2. Just checking on the foul. It's on James Reese the 5th. That will be his 3rd.
I'll tell you what, Timberlake is like a bowling ball when he goes towards the basket. He's just big, physical frame, hard to stay in front of.
He leads all the Phoenix scorers right now on 15. Maybe that's 16. Very good from the free throw line. Here's Timberlake, and he'll make it 17 if this goes in. As indeed it does. And in comes Mike Ocharobia for Sharks, and out comes Donovan Clay. They're using him sparingly after that injury early on.
Mike Ocharobia back into the game. Haven't really seen him since the first half.
James Reese the fifth. They're trying to entice a few white and orange shirts towards him to leave a bit of a space for Anderson. Groves thinking about the three, goes for the two instead. Just ran out of room, ran out of traction there. Timberlake, who needs to inspire here, has inspired for the most part, but needs other people to help him too. Maybe this is the man to do it. Cam Holden has to go baseline. That's an offensive foul, number 7.
That's the right call again. James Reese just doing a good job of getting good body position there.
I don't think I've ever seen a game with 7 offensive fouls.
I don't think I have either, no. But I think it was a great take from James Reese.
That's his 4th, by the way. So another player for the Phoenix in foul trouble. Larry Elson Jr. is on 4, Holden's on 4. For the Sharks, the only one who's close to it is Ocharobia on 3. And he is out there on the court wearing number 15. Anderson. Prentice Nixon with the mask now. Goes baseline, has no room, and will get fouled again by Skylar White. Oh, no, fouls on 15. TJ Atwood, there's a technical on Ben Thomas.
Wow, what a change of events here. Not ideal for the Phoenix. We take a quick look at this drive here. Nixon in, and lots of hands reaching in on there. Can't be surprised at that call. And Coach Ben Thomas trying to address it from the sidelines. The referees were quick to call that tech.
Joe, just to, that's 4 now for Atwood as well. They have 3 players on 4 fouls now. 3 players on 4 fouls.
Just
Prentice Nixon keeps the mask on this time for the free throw, which takes him to 15.
It's not easy shooting with a mask on, Bob.
I have no idea. Oh, not quite. He's going to take it off now. Is he going to take it off? Go on. He thought about it. He did think about it.
Keep that nose intact.
Yeah. And there's 2 for 3 again, like he did last time. Larry Austin Jr. on 4 fouls, needs to be careful. Nick Timberlake on 2. That's going to dribble out and be clutched like he was holding a baby there. James Reese, the fifth. I'm having this, nobody else.
It was a great rebound. Good job of getting his hands on it.
Patino, and that's another foul, and this one is on Timberlake. 3 fouls now.
That's his 3rd foul. And good job from Mike Ocharobia there, keeping his balance, staying up. Had his defender on his back. Good job sealing him and backing him down, ducking in, trying to get as close to the basket as he could here, we see.
Is it fair to say that the Phoenix are imploding here?
Well, a lot of talking to the refs, not a lot of huddling up together, a technical foul from the sideline, frustration setting in, fatigue, foul trouble. They're digging themselves a big hole for the 4th quarter at the moment.
25 points, the lead. Not insurmountable. That will be a foul. That's the, in fact, there was some basket interference by his own man there. Now, the basket interference is by his own player, so there's an interesting call, but it's going to be a foul anyway. They've got to. What happens there? Because the actual goaltending was by his own player.
I'd love to see a replay of that, because it looked like 2 different players touched the rim. Now, I think the first player was a Shark, but the second player definitely was. Here we go. We'll see this in slow-mo here. Great take from Atwood. And you know what? James Reese, the 5th, slapped the backboard first. And you can't slap the backboard as the ball's on its way to the basket. That is considered basket interference. And even though Timberlake touched the ball after the fact, it's that slap on the backboard from James Reese, the 5th.
That'll be 4 fouls on Mike Ocharobia. First of the Sharks to get into that kind of foul trouble. 2 points go to Atwood, who goes to 15. In comes Anderson, out comes, understandably, Ocherobia's out, but he's on 4 fouls now. Lead is 17. Nixon's having a big chat with the officials about something. Anyway, Atwood for the bonus, which they could do with, and they get it. So, I think I said, got my maths wrong there, 22 points it is now, 22. Nixon, oh, go in. Oh, I tell you what, that would have been an actual picture-perfect move had that happened. Timberlake, though, at the other end has his eyes on 2 and gets the 2 and takes him to 19.
Great shot from Timberlake there. Much needed 2 points for the Phoenix. They got to start making a move and a play at this lead to try and keep themselves in it.
10 points the advantage overall, 20 points on this game. Nixon, here's Rattino, will go baseline, doesn't get fouled, and Larry Austin Jr. will bring it away. He's on 4. Skylar White, straight for the 3. Here comes the 3. No. Red, he goes through a game without a 3. Hasn't got one yet.
Well, I mean,
22 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
The Phoenix as a whole struggling. 1 for 17 from three-point land tonight.
That's their big raison d'etre. First foul on Greg Wild. And that will send Prentice to the free throw line for 2 more. And he's rapidly catching up Ricky McGill. 16 to him, 23 to McGill.
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey's back in. Sorry, and Reese is out.
Just a bit too much of a bump on that play there. Tried to fight over the screen.
Prentice.
He's blaming the mask, Prentice.
He is blaming the mask. That's exactly what he's doing.
I would be too.
He's an 89% free throw shooter, for heaven's sake, but not tonight. Timberlake. That's going to be... It's all right, it's not a foul. Prentice, not a foul, it's just baseline possession. You're right, he thought it was a foul. See, look at his face, thought it was a foul. It's not, it's baseline possession. 2.9 remaining. Here comes the shot. Oh, hits the top of the backboard. And that will be the end of the third quarter. And the lead just inexorably keeps going up. It was 12 points, there was 14 points, now it is 21 points for the Sharks at the end of 3, and they lead overall now by 10 with 10 to go.
Yeah, 24 points for the Sharks in that quarter, only 17 for the Phoenix, and we can see the referees getting a little bit involved in that one. We take a quick look at the stats here, but the biggest thing for me, 1 for 17 from behind the arc for the Cheshire Phoenix. We know that they're a team that can live and die by the 3. But you've got guys like Skylar White who can be so impactful from three-point land, just not even making a move in that category tonight. Sharks just doing a great job moving the ball around, 16 assists, and 54% overall field goal percentage.
Right, let's review some of what you saw in the last 10 minutes.
Well, here we see pretty much the biggest shining light for the Cheshire Phoenix this game so far, Nick Timberlake. Incredible job from him so far, but Ricky McGill continuing to add to that monstrous game of his, 23 points already in this one. TJ Atwood doing a great job of finishing that one after some tough defense from Jamel Anderson. And then playoff P back in the picture. Mask on. Huge finishes from him. 2 big threes to start off that third and get this crowd rocking here in the Cannon Medical Arena. Ricky McGill still being so influential on the game overall. And again, Nick Timberlake just trying to fight the fires here that the Sheffield Sharks have started here at the Cannon Medical Arena.
10 minutes to go. This will be the end of somebody's season, either the Sharks or the Phoenix, who came here with that 10-point lead from Friday night. That has evaporated, and the Sharks have an 11-point advantage over two legs, which they will be absolutely, totally and utterly determined to hold on to, because if they do, then they're into that semi-final. We don't obviously know who it's going to be yet. All kinds of permutations yet, but they at least know they'll be in for a chance of making it to the O2 as Jacob Groves adds another 2 to the tally.
You gotta love it, just straight out of the huddle, out of a dead ball situation, and Jacob Groves, just nice, simple, easy play towards the basket.
Skylar White has to go for some outside shots. Surely twos aren't going to do it, and he's not getting them anyway. Austin backs in. They're going to have to go outside of Timberlake, and they're trying every effort. And you can go for the slam and go for the jam. It may not matter overall.
We have liftoff. Scott Grayson, huge two-hand flush.
But Jamel Anderson has 2 at the other end, and that falls, and that's not spectacular, but it's still only worth 2 points.
I mean, impressive play there through the contact. Big finish from Jamel as Atwood just continues to attack on the inside. Both teams just trading baskets here as we get ourselves locked into this fourth quarter.
18 now for Atwood, maybe 3 more here. That's going to be a bit shy, and will fall to Tyreek Scott Grayson for the Phoenix, and he's going to go coast to coast, and it won't fall. It looked like it was going to. Just had a thought about it, had a think about it, but then fell back outside. Nixon will drive, he won't get it either, and then we've had an offensive foul on Ricky McGill.
Looked like Ricky McGill there might have been a push on the rebound there. I'm not sure. Ricky McGill can't believe it.
Offensive foul number 8.
We'll see here. Here's the dunk from Scott Grayson. Baseline, rising up. Big take from him. Start this fourth quarter.
21 points, the lead for the Sharks. Got a lot of insurance on that. 11 points at the moment to take them through the semi-final, but there's still a lot of time still to go. There's a lot of intent here from the Phoenix. Skylar White's got to get a 3 in before too long, surely. He's inside, right on the line. There you go, right on cue.
There we go. There we go. Skylar White saying, yeah, I'm still here. I might be a little bit tired. My daughter was born this weekend, but I'm still here.
Donovan Clay, haven't seen much of him recently, but then 2 more for the big man. Look at how quick this game is moving, how quick the transition is, how quick they're back at the other end. Atwood. Then it'll be a little hook shot from Larry Austin Jr.
A beautiful pass there to set that one up from Atwood. Larry Jr. in the dunker slot, short corner, able to finish that one off.
Clay. Anderson says, Ricky, just go to the right. Anderson, I can do that too. My name is Jamel Anderson.
Jamel Anderson rises up, beats his defender over and out. Welcome to Sheffield.
Scott Grayson, Skylar White for 2. Yep. Already he's gone from 3 to 8.
Wow.
In no time.
Look at this game, just trading baskets. Both teams finding rhythm on the offensive end.
Clay will back in on White. That's a really interesting matchup, isn't it? The 2 biggest guys on the court, on the floor. Anderson, here comes Ricky. Just a bit too strong. Flew right over the top of the hoop, and there's going to be a substitution as in comes Retino, and Jacob Groves goes out, and we have 6:53 remaining with a 19-point advantage for the Sharks, which at the moment is fine and dandy for their progression hopes. Scott Grayson for the Phoenix, trying to torment McGill, and does, and then it's going to be an and one for TJ Atwood, who moves into the 20s again.
Great job from the Phoenix, like we said. Their offensive struggles through that third quarter, it seems like they've kind of shook those things off. They're playing much looser, much more together like a team. And Coach T. Lyons not very happy with the sequence of events. He'll call a timeout on that one.
Yep. So, team is going to have a word or two about how things are as Ricky McGill leads all scorers on 23, but been caught again quite rapidly by TJ Atwood. 28 the other night, 20 in this one.
We talked about it before the game, the impact that Atwood can have on a game. He's so tricky to guard. He's that ultimate tweener. You don't really know what position he is. He could be a guard. He could be a forward. He's got the size and physicality to play inside, but he's got the speed and the shooting ability to play outside, and then he can defend multiple positions. So 20 big points for him so far on the night. But they're going to need a few more if they want to get over that hump and cut into the 7-point lead the Sharks have on aggregate at the moment.
Yep, 83-66 on the night. Sheffield aiming for a rare ton. Plenty of time for that still to happen. Cheshire need to find a few more points, probably from Skylar White. Maybe from Larry Austin Jr., though he's on 4. To remind you, Timberlake is on 3 fouls, Atwood's on 4, Holden's on 4, Austin Jr. is on 4. They cannot afford to foul.
Yeah, that could be the difference maker right here. Foul trouble and the shortness of their bench. Sharks a little bit more luxurious with their bench. They've got a little bit deeper to go, but Cheshire, 3 players now on 4 fouls and key players as well.
Ricky McGill, 23 points personal. Reese, the 5th, hasn't scored yet in the game. Might do now, and doesn't quite.
Oh, this is beautiful pass.
Tee him up nicely.
Wow.
That's another offensive foul. Is it? Oh,
no,
out of bounds.
Just a turnover from Atwood there, but
out of bounds this time.
Both teams get a little bit ahead of themselves. Reese had a great look at it, just wasn't able to finish it off, and then Atwood, one-on-one situation, ball dribbles out of bounds. So both teams just got to lock in.
6 minutes and 12. McGill, Jordan Rottino. Up it comes, and in it goes for the first points of the game for James Reese the 5th.
What an incredibly executed play there for James Reese the 5th. Saw his defender fighting over the screen. He fades out to the corner. Big 3 from him. Looks like a pushing foul there on number 5, Donovan Clay. That will bump him up. Oh, actually, no, it's not a foul. Oh, yeah, it is a foul. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just haven't called it yet.
And it takes him to 3, I think. Let's wait for the scoreboard to register that.
Yeah, there you go. 3 fouls on Donovan.
Scott Grayson will put that one away. Reese. Here's McGill. Oh, gets stripped of the ball. That's a foul on Tyreek Scott Grayson. That's his 3rd.
I know, but only the first foul for the Phoenix in this quarter, so still a long ways away from team fouls into the bonus. But Ricky McGill showing that control here. I mean, he's been a nightmare for defenders all night long. 25 points for him.
McGill, Clay, have that.
Throw down the hammer, big fella. What a play from Donovan Clay.
Austin Jr. not dropping this time. Ricky McGill gets fouled. That's an intentional. And Scott Grayson goes to 4, and that's an intentional foul.
And we see Jamal Anderson getting this crowd fired up. But check out the throwdown from Donovan Clay. Down the middle in the finish. Huge play from him.
87-69. As McGill goes to the line to make his total potentially 24 now, because he can't get to 25, not from the line. So 8 points aggregate score lead, but now there's another one to add. takes him to 24, and of course they have possession too from the intentional.
They do indeed, but still a lot of time left to play in this one. Over 5 minutes left. Can the Sharks close this one out?
Clay slows it down. Anson wanted a quick release, didn't get it. James reached the fifth, throws. Oh, Jamel did so well with that. Oh, they needed to get that after Jamel managed to catch. Was basically a cricket throw there. That's Donovan Clay fouling number 4. He's got to be careful now. He's suddenly rocketed up to 4 fouls.
Yeah, I mean, I know he was trying to chase down and stop the play, but when you're on 4 fouls like that with 5 minutes left, that's not the smartest play. They had some defense back in the paint. The reach-in foul there. Be a little bit smarter on that one.
Atwood all the way 4-2, and he is just magic in this matchup, isn't he? 28 the other night, 22 in this now.
Absolutely acrobatic finish there from Atwood.
McGill, James Reese, the 5th. McGill down to 8, not going to drop. TJ Atwood has been pretty much mustered all the way through. We'll give it to Timberlake. He'll go for the jam himself this time. That ring is certainly getting a lot of reverberations.
It's a slam fest in this 4th quarter. A horn.
Timeout called, I think, by Sheffield. Yeah, 15 points the advantage now. It's getting a bit edgy and nervy.
This is what we signed up for, Bob. We knew it was going to be a thriller. This 4th quarter is not disappointing. Cheshire Phoenix chipping away, and big plays like this from Nick Timberlake are going to be the thing that can get them over that hump and give them that momentum they need to close the gap.
So McGill 24, Timberlake 21, Atwood 22. Those are the 3 players who are into the 20s tonight. Sharks were looking at maybe 100 plus, but they've just had a little bit of break supplied by Cheshire here, and the lead is only on aggregate 5 now between the 2 teams, and Phoenix will have a sniff. Their fans, who are not too far behind us, are getting excited because they believe as their flag starts flying, they're still in this tight, and they are.
They definitely are. It could be anybody's game right here. Still quite a bit of time left on this clock. 4 minutes, lots of possessions for each team. It's going to come down to who can defend and rebound better to finish this one out.
But I keep going back to the foul trouble, though. That could be the ultimate clincher here, because they can't afford, can they, the players on 4 fouls, 2 fouls, because they're done.
Yeah, well, you've got Scott Grayson on 4, you've got Atwood on 4, Holden on 4, Larry Austin on 4, so all key players, and most of those guys on the floor right now, so any kind of tweet that we hear could potentially be a guy going to take a seat on the bench. And we look back at some of these plays from the second half. Huge play from Scott Grayson to start the quarter. Donovan Clay, great pass from him, and Jamel Anderson with authority over top. Ricky, great dish pass, and another big one. And that's not even all the dunks from the quarter, but just a few to wet your whistle.
James Reese, the 5th, running out of time, 8 seconds. He hasn't got an option at the moment. Still hasn't really got an option, so McGill's going to have to go for this all the way, and it's not going to be. And here comes Timberlake. Timberlake, is he going to think about the 3? He's going to certainly hold things up, and that's going to be a backcourt violation.
Those are the unforced turnovers you don't want to see, especially at this point in the game. Under 4 minutes to go. They're trying to make a punch at this lead right now, and that's a possession that they're not going to be able to get back.
Prentice with no mask is now back on. We're seeing Prentice with a mask, without a mask, with a mask, without a mask. He's back without a mask now. McGill, Groves, McGill, he'll drive and he'll take a bump and he'll get the M1!
Unbelievable finish from McGill. I don't even know how he got the English on the ball to go off the backboard, but he found a way to finish it. And that is foul number 4 for Nick Timberlake. And now you've got Timberlake on 4, Larry Austin on 4, Scott Grayson on 4, and Holden on 4.
Well, that didn't find its way through. The lead is 17, however. And they need something quick. They're going to get it quick from Scott Grayson. No, they're not. Because John Rottino gets the rebound. And Nixon, cool, calm, considerate head, says, come on, let's take some time out of this shot clock. Groves, a little crossover with Nixon. Nixon back to Groves. Groves now will drive and he'll drill it in for 2 more. He goes into double figures.
Huge take from Jacob Groves. That's 11 points personal for him.
Timberlake off right. Into the last 3 minutes. Now, surely, Sharks, you take as much of this shot clock as you can in what remains in the game. You don't need to rush it. The onus is on the Phoenix to get very quick baskets and not throw it away like that. And that's going to be a foul on... Oh, hang on. Out of bounds again. They are making so many stupid mistakes.
Another unforced turnover. Like I said, 2 of those within the last 4 minutes. Those are key possessions that you can't get back. And the Sharks got away with that one, you know, a turnover there. But they were blessed with an unforced turnover from the Cheshire Phoenix. So possession back with the Sharks in a timeout situation. A great opportunity here for the Sharks to score and go up double digits.
92-73. That's the night score. The overall score, of course, is that the Sharks are up by 9 over 2 legs, and we'll be starting to think about the prospect of the semi-final next weekend. It could be Leicester, it could be Manchester, it could be Newcastle. We really don't know at this stage. A lot depends on the games played tomorrow, and we'll find out on Tuesday. But of course, all the games live on DAZN next weekend, and the final, the big final, looking forward to it very much, whoever gets through to it, at the O2 in London 2 weeks from today.
It's bound to be an exciting one. The league has been so close this season. The inaugural season of the SLB did not disappoint. And here in Sheffield tonight, this series has not disappointed us either.
So, the race for the tape starts now. 2:40 remaining in the game. 14 seconds on the shot clock for the Sharks to get the ball inbounds. As I say, they won't be rushing anything now, surely. Nixon says, right, I'll count them down for you. 12, 11, 10, 9. Oh, he's been lucky. They got away with it. There's the interception from Atwood. Atwood hits the 3 from the Skylar. Yeah, you knew it was coming.
Well, they're down, but they're not out. And Skylar White doing Skylar White things here in the 4th quarter. Big 3 from him.
16 points now. I'm amazed you didn't see that earlier from him. But Nixon now will drive. Push it out to Jacob Groves and then Ricky McGill. And we're into the last 2 minutes now with Holden. Skylar again. Not this time. Rebound for Ricky McGill. Hearts and mouths there as that left the hands of Skylar White.
Indeed, Bob. Thriller indeed.
And Ricky McGill doesn't put it down. They're going to get it back to Skylar surely for the 3 again here. He's waiting. Here he is. They need to keep him quiet. They want to put some insurance in this. Holden. Timberlake's still out there too. Here's Atwood. Will drive. Try and get the M1 if he can. Hook shot doesn't drop. And it goes to Clay.
Big defensive effort there from Donovan Clay. Great job from him.
Minute and 17. Nixon says, we got 24 seconds. I'm going to take it. Oh, that's a foul on Nick Timberlake. And here's 5th foul. Good night, Vienna.
He's not happy about that one as he stomps off to the bench. Sharks sitting with a 6-point lead here. Prentice Nixon doing a good job of doing the snake dribble, getting in front of, getting his defender on his back, and then nice little hesitation to force the foul.
In terms of team fouls, both teams at the moment on 4 team fouls. Prentice Nixon, 17 points. Always so influential. Mask or no mask. Stolen away by Austin. 4-2. He goes to 9. Just got to be a bit careful here. The lead's 14. And that will be a foul on Cam Holden. And that is his 5th too. So they lose another player.
Two players fouling out for the Phoenix in consecutive possessions there. It was a great defensive effort there. Atwood got the hand on it. Larry Austin Jr. able to get out on the break. Cut the lead down to 4. But then the foul from Holden here pushes Ricky McGill over, pumps the Sharks into the bonus. Ricky McGill will go to the line, make up those 2 points that they just lost off the steal.
26 points at the moment for Ricky McGill. He can match what TJ Atwood did in the first leg. As we see Cam Holden step out with 5 fouls to join Nick Timberlake on the sidelines. 57.9 seconds remaining. Now, not there's ever massive pressure on free throws, you think, but there are on this one, because 2 here will pretty much, you think, guarantee progression, wouldn't you?
You would hope so. A 6 points buffer is much better than a 4-point. That makes it a 2-possession game. Bumps it up to still a 2-possession, but 2 threes, so much tougher to execute for the Phoenix, especially now that they're down 2 of their key players. And we see here Ricky and Larry getting in the way a little bit, trying to have some influence on the ball.
Is it called sportsmanship? What is it called? I don't know, but he's trying to influence and certainly trying to pull off Ricky McGill as he aims for 28 points, and he's heading that way on 27.
Ice in his veins. That's a big free throw from Ricky McGill. 27.
Timeout coming immediately after this from the Phoenix. That will be one more. 28 and 4, maybe the last time.
30.
Ben Thomas wants to talk to his crew and see what they can do in 56.9 seconds.
Well, you're down, but you're not all the way out. You got to try and keep as much time on that clock as you can. So if you're the Phoenix, you'll be looking to get into some quick offense here. And most likely, you know, you'd be looking at a guy like Skylar White that could potentially get you a 3-pointer. But if you don't have an open look from 3 early, get something going downhill towards the basket, and then immediately you got to try and stop that clock. There's not enough time left on the clock for them. They got to try and keep possessions alive for them to give them opportunities to get some points on the board.
They're going to get a quick 3 out of Skylar White here, haven't they? They've got to get a quick 3 now.
They definitely do. I mean, Skylar White, a team as a whole has struggled from the 3-point line. Only 2 of 20 on the night. Skylar White has one of those. And he's a guy who can step up late game situations. He's the guy that you can put the ball in and trust.
Well, he's out there. Not surprisingly, Larry Austin Jr. on 4 fouls. Don't forget, he is Eichel Rock, Scott Grayson, and Atwood are the 5 are going to try and turn this game around for the Phoenix. And it needs to be quick. They don't have time to play around with 24 seconds. They've got to get it into the hands of the big man, who, I've got to say, in warm-up, was hitting them like they were going out of fashion. He's right in the corner, and they're going to have to mark him up. Anderson's the man to mark him. They'll go man-to-man. White. No, he was never in a position to shoot that, but they're going to get possession back, maybe. No, they're not. Here comes James Reese, the 5th, and he gets fouled by Skylar White. And that will be 2 and 1. Waiting to see. No basket.
No basket.
But they'll go to the line for 2 anyway.
We're going to call it on the ground. And it was a great job from Donovan Clay getting the ball out early as possible to James Reese, the 5th. And James Reese saw the defender coming, so he decided to dish it off. Oh, James Reese, the 5th, was fouled on the pass, and he'll go to the line because they're in bonus.
Here comes, and there he goes. And that could be just the bonus they need. 17 points now. Got to find 7 to take it to overtime. Might be 8 after this for the Phoenix. James Reese the 5th. No worries, no concerns, no problems this time. Got to be quick. Scott Grayson. There'll be 2, but they need more than that. 24 now for TJ Atwood. It's been immense again. 16, and there's a foul committed on McGill from Idle Rock. Take him to the line. 16 points on the night. 6 points overall. Will send the Sharks through to the semi-finals. McGill, 28. It's got to be McGill from MVP, surely. He goes to 30, which he will do with these 2. No, put the mouth on him, but still going to be 29. It's got to be this guy, isn't it?
I mean, he's been such an influential character in this game so far, throughout the whole night from beginning to end.
29 points personal for Ricky McGill. Another timeout. Last timeout now being called by the Cheshire Phoenix.
It's an important one right here. Offensive possession back in the hands of the Phoenix. 33 seconds left on the clock. I think we'll see something similar where they advance the ball and a potential screen the screener or handoff play to try and get a look from 3. But whatever they do, they need to get a quick look at the basket and then try and stop the clock and hope that the Sharks don't go down the other end and knock down free throws.
In case you came to us late, we've already seen 2 players foul out for the Phoenix, and others are on 4 fouls. They've got 3 players on the court who are on 4 fouls right now. So it's not looking great from that point of view, or indeed the scoreline with Sheffield up by 17 with 29 points for Ricky McGill. So he's actually usurped what TJ Atwood did in the first leg when he got 28. Atwood, though, 24 again tonight. He'll be out there. Austin Jr., Idle Rock. But the man, the key man, is the man who's coming back on now, is Skylar White. We know how accurate he normally is. Heading for, or was heading for, the beginning of this game, 100 3-point made, not attempts, but made this season in the league and playoffs, but not going to quite happen. Is anything going to happen from this play with Austin Jr.? Out it comes the 3-point attempt. This time is from Scott Grayson, and that will be a foul. Oh no, a jump ball.
Jump ball, great rebound there from James Reese the 5th. But a Phoenix player able to get a jump ball situation out of this. Crowd not agreeing with that one. And again, Phoenix will maintain possession.
Austin Jr. Here's Idle Rock. 2s aren't going to do it. 2s aren't going to do it. And they're not going to happen anymore. They are going to get it back, but they need more than that. Can't even get it in. Well, eventually Scott Grayson does. But it's down to 10 seconds now. That's a foul by Idle Rock. And that'll send Ricky McGill to the line to go into the 30s.
And I think it might be safe to say now that Ricky McGill, if the Sharks pull this one out, which is looking likely, he'll be our MVP of the night. 29 points personal, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, chucking a block there as well. Just hit the 30 ball. Incredible night for him. And the Sharks team looking battle-tested through this first round.
31 points if this one goes in. And it eventually does for Ricky McGill. Sharks have a 70-point lead, 7 overall. Probably won't matter what happens here. That's going wide. And the Sharks pull it around, and they pull it off. And they will go into the semi-finals of Super League basketball. They have turned around a 10-point deficit, and they've come out with a 17-point win for a 7-point aggregate victory. It's the Sharks who progress and the Phoenix say goodbye.
What a win from the Sharks, heading into this one with a 10-point deficit, and then they just gritted and grinded and fought their way back. An impressive comeback from the Sheffield Sharks team. And like I said, battle-tested through this first round. It'll be exciting to see how they move forward from this one.
All right, I know you've got some jobs still to do, Mike, so I'll talk to you later. He'll be back in the commentary position a little later on, but no doubt, absolutely, categorically no doubt who the MVP was. 31 points, we'll hear from Ricky McGill in due course. Just some of the other, there's the score for tonight, the overall aggregate victory for the Sheffield Sharks. Prentice Nixon had 17, Jamel Hansen 14, Jacob Groves 11 for the Sharks. For the Phoenix, again another masterful display by TJ Atwood with 24, 21 from Nick Timberlake, but they got into foul trouble very early on, lost a couple of key players before the game really unfolded in the fourth quarter, and ultimately that could have been the big difference. Well, it was a real all-action, very physical game, as you can see from the amount of players who end up on either 4 fouls or 5 fouls for the Phoenix. For Donovan Clay, he was on 4. Let's have a look at the stats, and there's one key stat that I know that Mike was mentioning earlier on. Look at the three-pointers, 2 for 23. Now this is a side, this is a team who score three-pointers like it goes out of fashion sometimes. 2 for 23. That was a huge difference in the overall scoring there. 99-82. Sharks winning on the assists. Steals more than for the Phoenix. 42 rebounds compared to 37 for the Sharks. 52-42. Pretty much all the main stats, though, were very much in the Sharks' favor. Let's look at some of the highlights. And much of this will center around the Sheffield Sharks' #1, Ricky McGill. And of course, Prentice Nixon, as we mentioned, had to get a mask, got a bang in the face. Took some free throws with the mask, some without. But ultimately, he was crucial, as was Nick Timberlake, to at least keep the Phoenix in with a shout. 21 points from him. Atwood was excellent. Didn't quite work out for Skylar White. I'm sure he's got no sleep this weekend after the baby appeared on Friday, but he did put that one down and just gave them a slimmer of hope at the end. But Jamanson put 14 away, and he had a particularly good night, as did Ricky McGill. In fact, I think pretty much all those who put numbers on the board for the Sharks will be very, very happy with their night's work. Jacob Groves had 11, and here he is on the board. And there is McGill once again. Free throws great. Three-point attempts, not so many of those, but he battled like a trooper all the way through. And here comes one of those very rare Skylar White threes tonight, which gave them just a little chance of edging their way back in. But let's hear from the MVP, no doubt about it. He's just getting a presentation done, I think, is Ricky. In fact, let's hear from him now with Mike Tuck.
This one, a do-or-die game. How's that one feel?
Feels good, man. You know, it's kind of a little sluggish the first game, man. You know, just had to say to myself, we live for these moments, man. From New York, man, we got that dog in us, man. Like, so I just had to come out here and prove a point today and get the win for my guys.
Let's rewind it back to Friday night. Obviously, this is a two-leg affair. First leg in Cheshire. Big accident on the highway. You guys, what normally would have been a 2-hour drive, turned into a 5-hour drive. You only had 30 minutes to warm up. How much did that impact you going into that first leg?
Yeah, it definitely made a huge impact on us. But it's still basketball. We still had to play basketball at the end of the day. But definitely, though, like we came out strong. But like, you know, our legs gave out on us, kind of going into the third quarter. They took a big lead, you know, and we were trying to fight back.
And a gritty, grinded-out win like tonight. Cheshire Phoenix are a team that didn't give up all night.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Shout out to those guys, man. They fought hard to the very end. You know, we just had to keep executing, keep making plays. Everybody showed up today. I'm proud of my guys, man. So yeah, shout out to us. We're gonna try and keep it rolling.
And a game like this, after, you know, overcoming such a big deficit, you feel like you guys are more battle tested now. This is the kind of game that can carry you through the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. No, we're gonna take it day by day. Just keep getting better. It starts in practice. You know, like talking, playing defense, just communicating and staying the course.
Well, Ricky, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on that performance. Bob, we're going to throw it back to you.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, there is the man of the moment, the man of the match, the MVP by quite some way. Contributed with threes, with twos. He was pretty much rock solid from the free throw line as well. And there wasn't much he didn't do in the course of 40 minutes play here at the Cannon Medical Arena. He was everywhere, had some great foils as well, 17 for Prentice Nixon and 14 for Jamel Anderson, all contributed, but there are times when a player just stepped up and takes control and takes command, and that was Ricky McGill with his 31 tonight. So let's hear from the coach of the Sheffield Sharks, the Team Alliance. Here's with Mike Tuck.
Coach, first off, congrats on the win. We had a quick word before the game, and I said to you, we've been here before. We've done things like this before, but an incredible comeback for you and your guys. Let's get your initial thoughts on the win.
I thought I couldn't ask for a better performance. They came out with the right intensity. They were focused and made shots. Defensively, they were physical. Even though Cheshire still had some offensive rebounding and hurt us in the first half with that, we stayed resilient and made a great second half run. And credit to the guys, they came and showed up and put their heart out there.
And Cheshire Phoenix, a team that just doesn't go away. They fought hard. They played so aggressive. You guys managed to weather that storm, especially in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, they're a physical team, without a doubt about it. You know, the guards did a good job handling that pressure. You know, everyone stepped up today. It was a team effort.
It must feel good after, you know, Friday night, the distraction of getting there late, not having enough time to prepare, and then a 10-point, you know, deficit going into this one. You had every excuse not to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that was a tough trip. We knew it would be difficult mentally, physically. We did a great job to come out, but we maybe were a little bit sluggish and just kind of didn't have our bearings probably collected. And today we came out, like I said, great energy. Jamel came in and was big for us. J-Rat, he contributed to some nice things, and Ricky led from the front. So, you know, very happy coach.
It definitely looked like a much more well-rounded performance from all the guys. Jamel definitely stepping up, but Ricky McGill, you know, on the night. What an incredible performance from him, 31 points.
Yeah, it's this type of team, this type of game, you know, he's a physical guard, but he's likes to play an open court to get out and run. So when you give him an opportunity to get in transition, he's going to take it and probably make something good of it. And it was great in transition running the show.
Final question. Obviously, a series like this, gritty, grinded out, but now you have to look forward to the semifinals. A game in a series like this has to give you a lot of confidence going forward.
Yeah, it's a tough game. You know how it is. It's hard to win in the playoffs, let alone down 10. You know, we believe in ourselves. You've seen the resilience is there. Leicester got us last time we played them, so we got to make sure we come out and match that intensity from tonight for the rest of the playoffs.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win. Good luck in the semifinals.
Thanks a lot.
Back over to you, Bob.
Thanks, Mike. At this stage, obviously, we can't tell you who the Sharks are going to play in the semi-finals. It could be Leicester, it could be Manchester, or it could be Newcastle, depending on the outcome of the games tomorrow. Surrey-London, I think, is going to be a cracker. 1:30 tip tomorrow. Leicester-Bristol, good luck to Bristol. They've got a big job, sitting on a massive deficit against Leicester. Manchester-Newcastle, still too close to call. Those are the three games on DAZN tomorrow. 1:30 and 5 o'clock tips at Surrey, Leicester and Manchester. But one thing we can now assure you and guarantee you, you're going to see the Sheffield Sharks at least 2 more times in the semi-finals. They don't know who they're going to play yet, but they'll have one more game here at the Cannon Medical Arena next weekend. They have turned it around, 10 points down from Friday. They've won this by 17. It's the Sharks through to the semi-finals at the expense of the Chester Phoenix. From Mike Tuck and myself, Bob Ballard, we'll leave with pictures of Ricky McGill and see you next weekend. Bye-bye.
champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.